All right, you guys, welcome to our August Coach webinar. We are just going to be laying everything out there tonight, but really breaking it down into 4 steps for you so you can make the best decision if coaching is the way for you or what you want to do with this. So we are breaking it down to what is a coach, how we help people get results, how we use social media. I know that can be a big one, a big holdup, a scary thing. I know at least it was for me. 3, we're going to talk about how this is a business, how to earn, and 4, how to jump in and get started. So good night, buddy. Okay. Oh no, ask daddy to take you to bed. Okay. All right. Just before we jump in though, I do want to give you a background on our team. We are Team Heart and Hustle, and most of us are, I would say, in the Midwest area. However, we are all over the US. We even have some coaches in Canada and UK. And the beauty of this is that we can do this virtually. So we get together every Monday night on our team calls. We get together in the mornings for workouts together. But of course, that's not the only thing we like to do. We also like to get together for retreats, for events. And I remember watching my coach when I was kind of like, who is she? What is she doing? What is this coaching thing? This is kind of weird, but kind of interesting. And I remember her going on these trips and just retreats or getting together with her coaches and thinking like, oh, that's weird. I don't need any of that stuff. And the first time I did, it blew me away how much fun it was and how empowering it is to be surrounded by other women who, one, have similar mindsets around just growth and their health and positivity and encouraging, and 2, are, working to build a business together. It's just so much fun and you just click right away. So I know that was for me a big holdup at first. I'm like, I don't need more friends. I don't need this. But what I learned was I love this community so much. So that's just a little bit of our team. A lot of us work outside the home. There's a good chunk of us that stay at home with our kids and do this on the side. There is a range of everything. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Sarah, and she's going to start us with what is a coach and how we get people results.
Hi. So I have been a coach for about a year. And so the first thing, it's not a fitness or a nutrition expert. We have goals ourselves. So for me, it started as, after I had my first kid, you do all this health stuff to get ready for being pregnant and all that. And then afterward, it's like, well, why don't I take care of myself all the time? So that's kind of what got me started. But, your goals change. And, as you get older or go through different parts of life, we're all learning, and we're just here to kind of support each other. And, maybe one of us has been somewhere that the other one hasn't. So we kind of all fill in each other's needs. One of my favorite things about when I first started was the biggest emphasis was focus on you and your journey. So being a product of the product is, what they said, but they want you to take your time to work out, do your personal development. There are the supplements that you can take, and it's about really going through your own journey, which for me was the part that was kind of a bonus out of all of this. And then once you are going through all of your parts, you have all this knowledge, and you also get to help other people get started. And then after you've done this for a while, you start to love it. And you can see how it changes, your life and life around you. I know for me, I feel like I just kind of got a part of myself back, and it was such a blessing to me. But, like my husband and my kids have seen different since I've started doing this, and how much, I don't know, it just gave me ownership again. I had a lot of years of taking care of a lot of people and went through a season of not really taking care of myself very well. So it was a great way to be able to pass that along to other people. I feel like that's such a gift, and it seems so cheesy. I'm sure people say it, but I truly do mean that, I love to help people. And this is just such a great way to be able to pass on that gift to people. And then also being able to help hold them accountable. So a lot of the things we tend to hear about are I go to a gym or this or that, but they're missing that accountability piece. And, we're there to help people along the way and help them figure out what they need and want. And I have a friend right now that I send her a text at like 6:15 in the morning saying, good morning and have a great workout. Or we have the Zooms that we all work together. And I feel like the biggest blessing of all this has also been seeing how when you team up with a great group of women and everyone is really committed to helping each other out, what amazing results you can get, not only for yourself, but everybody around you, and not having people compete. And that's really a testament to Brooke and how much she's helped establish the team and set kind of those standards. So it's a great one.
Yeah. And yeah, just like to bounce off that too, how we like help people, like you there's so many ways. Like you said, you can do text. I know I do like Facebook groups. Sometimes if I have a bunch of girls doing one specific program, I'll put them in a messenger pod on Facebook. But we also have what is called BOD groups, which is a whole separate app tied with Beachbody On Demand, where literally right after your workout in Beachbody On Demand, you can just mark what workout you did. You can mark your Shakeology or Recover or Energize. So a lot of different ways to help support people. But I always just find so much freedom. And I'm like, I don't need to be the expert. I can be the big cheerleader and I can direct you to the experts. I'm just another hot mess mom trying to do it as well. So love what you had to say, Sarah.
And just to piggyback off what you said, I like that there's, we can all find a way to work our business the way we want to work our business. There's so many resources that are put out between the team and the company, and it's just a great way to be able to direct people in the right way.
And these two pictures are this is up top is one of my coaches, Brooke. This is where she started. She had like an incredible transformation, but like, of course it didn't happen overnight. It took years and years and years to really just stay consistent. I think she like started and stopped for a couple months. And it really was just that decision of like, no, I want to do this. And that's when she jumped into coaching too. Cause she's like, well, if I'm going to do this, I want to hold myself accountable. Like if I could make money, that would be awesome. And now she looks amazing. And then on the bottom is Shelby, and very similar, like just kind of got lost and caught up in the things of motherhood. You're taking care of everyone else around you with work and kids and dogs and husbands. And then it's like, whoa, where am I in all this equation? So just know that if you come in from that side of things, not in shape, kind of in a pretty dark place, that's how a majority of us come in. And I think it's a beautiful thing to see like coaching help you kind of just take those steps out of it. So yeah, we'll pass it on to Kate with number 2.
Cool. So a little background on me. I work full-time in advertising, just got married last year, and I'm a dog mom of 2 awesome rescue dogs. So why did I get started with coaching? So just getting married, obviously we're starting to talk about starting a family and all that good stuff. And I just kind of seriously started thinking about time freedom and financial freedom and what my dream board looks like for when we do have little ones running around. And I just don't want to be tied to the corporate 9 to 5. And I also love, health and fitness, and that's been a really long journey for me. So it just all kind of seemed to fit. So I've actually been doing Beachbody workouts since 2013, which is crazy. It's been so long. But the last probably 1 to 2 years, just on social, I kind of started to see a lot of coaches really just killing it, and moms who didn't have to go back to work and they're able to stay at home with their kids. And that just really kind of started to stick in the back of my mind, and it would pop up every now and then I'd be like, okay, I can do that. And then I would shut myself down. And I had all of these reasons and excuses of why I couldn't do it. But then that little voice kept becoming more and more consistent. So I was like, okay, you know what? If we're going to try it, now's the chance, because I don't want to be at home. The end of my maternity leave is coming up and I have to go back to work and I regret not trying it. So that's kind of why I decided to give it a go. So social media, that was probably one of the biggest reasons in my head that I always told myself I couldn't do it, because like having a business on social can be scary, right? Like we don't want to be super salesy. We don't want to just be a big billboard and we're pushing, products and services on other people. That's not the goal at all. So you have to remember that you can really just use social to inspire and motivate and share the love. Like social doesn't have to be this big, bad, dark, scary place. Like toss all that negative stuff out the window. And like, if you come into it thinking you're going to make friendships, you're going to make connections, and you're truly going to help people, then you're already setting yourself up for success. So the biggest thing is just sharing about you. Like, just because you become a coach doesn't mean that all of a sudden, like, you're not posting about your kids or your dog or going out to eat, and you're all of a sudden like, buy Shakeology, buy Energize, look at this new work that I'm doing. Like, that's not it at all. It's more so continuing to share your story and just sprinkling in the little nuggets of your health and fitness journey along the way. So kind of the way that you want to go about that is there's 5 pillars that you kind of talk about for the most part throughout your week. So for example, mine would be dogs. I'm always talking about my dogs and like if they're eating carrots or they're eating peppers, like showing that like just fun stuff that people want to see to kind of get to know you. So I'll talk about dogs. I'll talk about, working full time, working from home at a home where a husband also works full time from home, and the challenges of that. And then travel. So my husband and I really like to travel. We like hiking and outdoorsy things and the beach. So talk about that. And then of course, workouts and nutrition. I like to talk a lot about kind of healthy meals and cooking and stuff like that. So that's kind of for me, how I go about it. And then I'll sprinkle in my workouts and, portion fix and Shakeology into that. So maybe it's something where it looks like, hey, I had 30 minutes extra at lunch today between meetings and I got in a 20-minute workout. Or, oh, we're sitting down to, watch this movie, but I've got my Shakeology bowl right here. So it's just really easy to kind of naturally layer those things in. And then eventually people are going to start asking questions and they're going to start seeing what you're doing. So just being genuine and sharing you. So then the second part is how to start conversations on social and be social. So this also was really hard for me. And it honestly probably is still the toughest part. And also just to back up, I've only been a coach for 2.5 months. I don't think I said that earlier. So still learning all of this, but I'm an introvert. I'm not an extroverted person. I've never been the person to have 20, 30 friends. Like I wasn't in a sorority in college. And to be honest, I'd rather spend a Saturday night sitting at home with my dogs and my husband than to go out and be the center of attention. So this whole like reaching out to strangers on social media was definitely a big hurdle for me. But you just kind of have to do it. Like that's the beauty of the business is you can do it how it works for you. Like you don't have to be this super bubbly, extroverted person to make it work. Like people want real and raw. And if that's what you give them, that's how you're going to start making connections. So the biggest way that I kind of reach out to people and start to build those relationships is just asking questions. And this is something that Brooke actually taught me, is that's going to be the easiest way to do it. Like you're not going to have a conversation with someone if you're just like, hey, nice to meet you. How's it going? Like nobody's going to respond to you. But if you see someone posting, they went to a restaurant, you can say, oh my gosh, like that restaurant looks so fun. What do you recommend on the menu? Or if they post about their dogs, maybe I'll be like, oh, your dog is so cute. Where did you get her collar? I love it. Something like that, where people just want to actually respond back to you and engage. And then you can start having that conversation and start building that connection. Once you do that, it makes it a lot easier to shift the conversation to workouts and nutrition and Shakeology and supplements and all of that. And then you have to remember that your storefront is your social media, right? So once you start having these conversations with people, you've been going back and forth with them for a few days or a few weeks, eventually they're probably going to start looking at your stuff, right? Like they're going to start watching your stories. They're going to start liking your posts. And then that gives you all the opportunity in the world to engage back with them and be like, hey, I saw you liked my story. Would you like to learn more? Or, hey, thanks for the love on my post. We'd love to have you join our group. Something like that, where it just makes it more conversational and like you're truly there to help and support them versus trying to sell something to them. So that's kind of how we like to go about it. And then back to what Sarah and Brooke were saying earlier, like you have all the support you need as soon as you join, between group chats and Facebook groups and team calls and all of it. Like, we're constantly sharing scripts with each other, bouncing ideas off of each other. If you have a question on how to navigate something, like, someone is always there to jump in and help. So you're not coming into this 100% alone. Like, you have a support system from day one, which is great. So yeah, that's kind of social. So I think the biggest takeaway is just, when you pair sharing genuinely about you, people want to get to know you, and then pairing that with these conversations and friendships that you're building, when you take the two of those and put them together, that's when your business is going to start to take off. And that's when you're going to start, really seeing success and earning some money. So now I'll hand it off to Brooke to talk about that.
All right, am I muted? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Like, I just got confused for a second. It's almost 9 at night. I'm like, what's going on? Okay, just really quick too, these pictures I just we threw up there just to show, like, hey, she talked about like the 5 pillars of things, and so many, 99% of the time, I know for myself, and I can say for Kate and Sarah too, like, my conversations start around my kids, what I made for dinner, like my decor in my house, or I put up a question in my stories, like, what should I put on this wall that's blank behind me? Like, people, just, that's how you get to, especially how you get to know, like, and get to talk to people who are like you, when you guys are just like-minded and you both have, similar interests, whether it's kids or house stuff or dogs, or remodeling. Like, people love to give their opinions, and it's just fun to find people who are, similar in thought and life as you. So, all right, I'm going to jump in a little bit to how to earn, and kind of more the business side of things, because I know for me, that was kind of my biggest thing that I wanted to do when I got on this. And I think, just so you know, like, some of us get into this wanting to run a business and replace our income and, help our families. And some people just want to get in this to, like, hey, if I could pay for my products, if I could help some friends and family, supplemental income, I want to stay at my job. Like, there are spectrums all over on our team. And all that matters is, like, what you want, and your goals align with that. Everyone's is different. And I think that's the beauty of coaching. It's like, no two coaches are the same, even if, like, income and the business building side of it is what you want. Like, we all want it for different reasons. So some of us might want it for, kids' college and to save and for future purposes. And some are wanting to do it to, hey, like, I want a new house, or I want to go on a car, or a new car. So just know there's so many different options, as far as, like, there's no one size fits all when you jump in. So I do want to talk about, like, the 3 different options that you have when you get signed up. You can either be a customer. There's no discount. You are just strictly a customer. You pay full price. The second one is preferred customer. For preferred customer, you do get a 25% discount. So if you're using Shakeology, Energize, like any of the products regularly, I always encourage people to be a preferred customer. There is a $15 monthly business fee, but still, with the 25% discount, you are saving money. And then you do get the really cool thing as a preferred customer, you do get to hold your spot in the genealogy, which doesn't make sense now, but, like, if you were ever to one day build a business, like, you will have a good spot in your coach's genealogy if you get signed up as soon as you get started with preferred customer. And then the other option is coach option, which is the 25% off discount. And then you can sell products to family and friends, and in turn make an income from it. So there's about 5 ways to earn incomes. I'm really just going to focus on the first 2. Like I said, when I came into this, that was what I wanted. And I realized later, like, oh, I did really need the health side of it, actually, and the community side of it. And I really needed to, like, learn and how to get my social media in check, because I was kind of that, that scroller who just kind of sucked the life out of me. And I only posted about the really, really positive things in my life. And really, coaching has shifted all of those areas, even though I kind of came in it strictly for the business. So that is a really cool part of it as well. So the first one is commissions. We get 25% commissions anytime anyone purchases Shakeology from us, purchase a total solution pack, Energize, any different products, the workouts, anything. So commissions are great, and they are, especially in the beginning of your business, they're the bulk of your business. And I always try and get, we always try and get our coaches to help at least 3 people get started every month, because right there, you are going to be earning everything back that you put into this business. Because when you help 3 people get started, you're going to get 25% commission on that. So it's about $150 that is going to go directly into your bank account. That's going to cover your business fee. It's going to cover whatever products you have. And it's probably going to leave you a little left over for date night or diapers or Amazon Prime or Target runs or whatever you want to spend it on, which is pretty sweet in my opinion. So that is how I know I have some coaches right away. They're like, okay, well, I just want to break even. And it's just by starting to help 3 people a month get started. So commissions are great. I will take commissions all day, but I will tell you, I was not able to leave my teaching career just solely based on commissions. There is a second side of things, which is called the team cycle bonus, which is the number 2 way to earn. And this is where the long term, where the bulk earning does come from for coaches who do want to build a business. And basically it's earning off the productivity of your team as you grow a team of coaches. So again, as you're a new coach and you're just getting started, it's really just you, and you might have some friends and family join over the first few months. So you might not see that team cycle bonus. And I'm just going to explain it pretty briefly to respect time tonight. But basically, we are a binary system. So when you get signed up, you are your CEO, you are at the top, and then you have a left leg and you have a right leg. We're a binary system. And when you are an Emerald coach, that's our first rank, meaning you either have a preferred customer or coach on your left side and your right side. You are now an Emerald coach, and poof, you qualify for this bonus each week that Beachbody gives out. And I do want to clarify too, this bonus, like that I am earning each week, that Sarah and Kate are earning each week because they're Emerald coaches, they're not part of our coaches below us paycheck. They are just an added bonus to that Beachbody gives us. I know my husband's also in sales. So like when he kind of heard that part of our business plan, he's like, what? Because, he gets commission on things, but it's usually from his employees' paycheck. But this is strictly just a bonus that Beachbody gives us. So how we get this bonus is, I talked about there's those 2 legs. When one of the legs, it is measured in volume. So volume, every product in our product library, Shakeology, Energize, Hydrate, all of our products have a volume number attached. Shakeology is around 100. It's technically 90, but just for this example, I'm just going to say it's 100 volume. And anytime on one of your legs, you have 100 volume. They can come from one coach. It can come from 10 coaches. It doesn't matter. 100 volume on one leg, 200 volume on the other leg. You get a bonus of $14. Now, before you say like, whoop-de-doo, like, well, what's $14? First of all, that's basically going to cover your business fee. But second of all, that $14 does grow over time. Let's say one week you have 600 volume and 300 volume on the other sides. What Beachbody is going to do on every Thursday morning when we get paid, they're going to take 200 to 100, and that's $14 in your bank account. Then 200 to 100, 14 in your bank account until they can't take that 2-to-1 ratio anymore. So as your team is growing, as you help people become preferred customers, fall in love with the workouts, meeting more people on social media, helping them get started. Again, this is a long-term thinking, this isn't stuff that's like, oh, by month 2, by month 3, I'm going to be rolling in these $14, over and over again. It's that long-term mindset. But when you have like, hey, I'm here for myself and I'm here to help others, that naturally will add up over time. And that's the biggest business part, biggest earning potential. And when you become a diamond coach, that bonus becomes $18 a cycle is what we call it. So there's a few other ways to earn. We have some quarterly bonuses and matching bonuses, but for the bulk of the earnings, it's commissions and our team cycle bonus. Okay. And then I'm going to wrap us up with our last thing of how to get started which I know again can be a scary thing. We talked about social media, we talked about your journey, and that's basically where it all starts. Number one is to start or maybe restart. Maybe you've started Beachbody or you've started in the past and you just need to restart again. We commit to a program, we commit to our supplements. Maybe it's Shakeology every day. Maybe you're committing to energize and recover every day. Whatever it is, just commit to it every day and then commit to a nutrition plan and get results. Be a product of the product. I always say, like, that's a cheesy way to say it, but like, you are your business card. I had a coach ask me recently, like, do I need to make a business card and start handing, like, would that be helpful to hand out? I'm like, no, like, your transformation picture, your results, your progress is your business card. That speaks volumes to the mom who sees herself in that before picture, or that working mom who sees that stuff and your before picture. You show them what is possible. So that's the number one thing. Again, I'm always like, this is my number one job, to work out and eat healthy and like take care of myself. Like, what other business makes yourself themselves take care? I just think it's so fun and so cool. The second one is commitment post. So this is how to jump into social media and just kind of break the ice. Some people are like, well, how, I don't ever post, like, how do I get started? And this is it right here. We have what we call like an example script that you can kind of go off of, that kind of shares your, basically you're just sharing your why. Like, why are you committing to your health journey? It's not about saying, hey, I am a Beachbody coach, join me. Like, oh my goodness, don't ever say that. Please send it to your coach. And like, no, it's basically just saying like, hey, you know, I know my commitment post was, I'm a mom. I feel like I'm losing myself. I want to be the best version of myself for my kids. I'm so excited to jump into a 3-week program and go for it. Like, I think like that mine was so basic, so bare, but also was just like, hey, I'm doing this for me. And that gave my audience a little bit of like, oh, well, what's she doing? What's Brooke doing? Okay. And that they're just starting to lean in, and then just starting to share your journey, waking up, showing them when you work out, showing them how you know, sprinkle in your shake or your energize or some of your nutrition things, but still continuing to share just who you are in your everyday life and use social media as your accountability. And then 3, start being social. And again, I know that can be weird when you're like, I don't talk to anybody besides maybe my like sister or my mom on social media or like my best friend. But what we have is a really easy daily tracker that just kind of gets you doing those behaviors that maybe you've never done before, that helps those conversations begin naturally. So it goes over like what stories you can post in your Instagram and Facebook stories. You don't have to do a post on your feed every single day, but you know, that is your storefront, like Kate said. So showing up in some way every few days is important. Following 3 new people or adding 3 new friends, having 3 new conversations. And that's as simple as, hey, like, where did you get those earrings? Or hey, where'd you get your daughter's like swimsuit? That's really cute. Like, things that you actually want to know, like, just ask people. And then sending some invites to people that maybe you think you would love to do this with you. So we have a simple daily tracker that helps you start doing the things. Okay, so that's how to get started. And I want to just wrap it up and leave you with this quote, because I always say, like, coaches, at least for myself, I know I came into this, like, I wanted to see the results in my business right away. And what I learned is it's just like your health journey. Like, for me, I came in as a teacher wanting to replace my teaching income and make the big bucks and do all that stuff. And that takes time, right? But it takes time. Like, the time is going to pass anyways. And just like your health journey, those small daily habits, following the tracker, following your workouts, following your nutrition plan, will get to your goals over time. So just having that long-term mindset rather than that short-term mindset. Of course, we want those short-term goals set in place to help us, but really taking off that employee hat where it's like, hey, I showed up today, where's my money? I should get paid. And instead should being like, okay, the things I'm doing right now, the seeds I'm planting, the people I'm maybe adding as a friend or talking to for the first time, they might be joining my team in a year from now. a year and a half from now, maybe even a month from now. You just never know. And that's where I want to leave you with. So I'm going to stop recording. Ooh. No, I don't know if I stopped it.